Hi, this is Mark Sperling from T3Live.com.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张舒，在纽约向您问好。周二，美股上涨，今天道指是创下了3月份以来的一个最好的交易日。美国方面有一系列的宏观经济数据发布，其中包括了美国3月份的职位空缺数是创下了历史第2高这样一个状态。另外一方面呢，包括像尼日利亚以及加拿大原油减产的一个消息呢，也是减少了当前原油市场供给端的压力，这也是推涨今天原油上涨的主要原因。好的，另外一方面，我们看到市场最近一直都在关注美元的走势，而高盛最新的一份报告认为，在未来的2年，美元将上涨15%以上。而在上一周，我们看到就业数字并不是很良好，但即使在那样的情况下，美元依然是上涨。因此，高盛的这份报告呢，可能会给更多的投资人以担忧。好的，更多的消息，让我们来看一下今天交易员的独家分析。Hi Mark, your stocks traded 1% higher, helped by the weakness in yen against dollar and also the oil gains. There were some analysts argue that, okay, this market is still directionless. So do you agree with this argument?
I do agree, even though yesterday, which I wasn't aware of at the close, it was the highest volume day of the year across the board, which I was not aware of. We did have a nice rally today. We'll see if it's a one-day rally, from oversold conditions. I'm not quite sure. But it was constructive, and we could be breaking an ascending channel, which means we could be going higher. I wouldn't be, putting bet in the bank on that yet, but it does look good. We'll have to see. I think there's more time needed to really discover if we're going to really start to trend on the higher levels.
And there's a lot of cross currents going on right now, and we see a lot of rotation to other sectors. For example, today is about bank sector, and we see the Goldman Sachs contributing most to the gains, and also JP Morgan. So how do you think about this sector?
Well, I was saying yesterday that they've really been lackluster, and they've hit some key moving averages after almost a week and a half, 2 weeks of selling, or just drifting down. They finally had a bid today. Goldman Sachs led, and you could see there was some option buying all the way up to, I think, 168, 170 level, and JP Morgan, much of the same, hit a level and finally had a little bit of a relief rally. They need to sort of lead in order for us to really start to trend higher. I don't know if that's going to happen, obviously. With interest rates basically remaining the same, they tend to benefit the most as interest rates raise. So we'll have to wait and see, but overall it was a nice rally for today. Chart-wise, it still needs time to prove itself.
Okay, and yesterday I remember that you mentioned Amazon and Google are the best breed in the tech sector, and today they continue these gains, and also Microsoft. So how do you think about these 3 stocks?
Well, I would say hands down right now, Amazon is leading the baton and leading the charge. Amazon gapped up this morning on some news, and it is just right now on fire. It can do no wrong, and they are going into every industry that seems to have some profitability. I don't know if it moves Amazon's needle that much, but it's going to be more people on the cloud. So it's at all-time highs at this point in time, above 700, gapped up to like 695. So it didn't give you a whole lot today, but gave you some in the afternoon. It looks terrific, getting a little extended. So I even said yesterday, I don't know if I'd be looking to buy. I think some time to digest. Now it might just be on a runaway train higher. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, it's one to buy on pullback, certainly.
And oil is up today, and it's all about oil today. So how do you think about USO, and do you think the energy sector can be pushed up because of the oil gains?
Well, I was saying below 43, I thought oil could have some trouble. I thought there was some momentum that could come in on the short side. But we held it this morning, and you could just see we're now back almost at the 44 and change, and the USO's held in there. So in my opinion, as long as we stay above 42, 43 in the oil, we're hanging in there. I don't think we get much above 47, 48, so I think it's going to be a small, tighter range than normal. And at some point, we're going to break out one way or another. Break out or break down, I'm not quite sure yet. Respect the ranges, 42, 50 to 47. That's the range. Stick to that for the time being.
Okay, and also today there was some discussion about Tesla because it has another down day. So why did this former Wall Street darling, just slipped into reverse?
Well, Tesla didn't, the earnings were a little bit light, and then also SCTY, which is another company Elon Musk started. came out with terrible earnings.
Okay.
And was down a ton. And I think in sympathy, Tesla just got hit. I think as you get closer to 200 range, 180 maybe, you're going to find some support for Tesla. But right now, it's one of those let it prove itself. It ran at almost 120 bucks from its low. It's now pulling back almost not quite the 50% range. When it starts to get to that point, which is roughly around 185, I think you might find some support. For the time being, it's just going to waffle in between these levels.
Okay, and also Baba, you mentioned that it held up in the current level. So for Alibaba, how does the tape look right now?
I think Alibaba looks okay. It's a little boring, but overall it came out with decent earnings, gapped up. It's now its fourth day into that gap of just hanging in there in a holding pattern. I think above 80, you might get some really key momentum. Now you have that next level, 81 and change. That's the next level, but gets above there, I think you got 85 in the cards. It is still one of those stocks that is a prove me stock, but overall it's tight and it looks okay.
Okay, that's all we have for today.
Great. Have a good night, everybody.
感谢您的收看，我们明天再见。